he told me he pulled out his knife and like had it out of his pocket. And then like she was just like, I thought you'd like it. Like I thought you'd like it because you're a guy. And then she was just like, I think he thought about stabbing me there. Because I told her, I was like, he could have stabbed you. You don't know. He could have killed you. He could have killed anybody. He could have killed me. I mean, like, we don't know. Mm-hmm. So she said he did that, and that could have been a threat towards her, because that's like the maddest I've ever seen him get. Mm-hmm. And then they went into the movie room, and then after all that happened, me and Tristan came back out, and we were in my room, and then she just told me this, and I was just like, that, like.
So, other than that, have you ever personally seen him like playing around with a knife that you think may have been like an irresponsible way of doing it, or if he was making slashing motions or pretending to stab someone? Or
he'd do that. Like he'd open it and then like he'd go like, and that's I've seen him do that a whole bunch of times.
Okay.
Without a knife, with a knife.
Okay. And like in what kind of context would he do that? Just randomly, or
just randomly?
Okay. Has he made? Yeah, I think I asked this question before. Has he made comments about stabbing somebody, or you said cutting somebody's throat?
Yeah, it's like slitting somebody's throat.
Okay.
He said it'd be satisfying to watch the blood drain out. I was like, that's weird. Like, that's weird. Like, that's not normal. But at the same time, I mean, like, seen it happen in games, so, like, I do get where he's coming from, but it's at the same time doing it in real life, seeing it in movies and games is a completely different story.
Right. How often would he make comments like that?
He hasn't made slitting somebody's throat in about, like a month.
Anything about stabbing somebody?
No, he hasn't really talked about it at all.
Okay, he would just do those mock.
Yeah, he does that all the time.
When was the last time you saw him do that?
I think it was, well, it wasn't that night. It was I think whenever we were hanging out with, it was all of us. We were all there. Michaela, Gabe, Ryan, me, Sophie, Aiden. I think like he got up and he did it. Everybody like liked Aiden. Mm-hmm. Aiden was like chill, but I thought he was a cool person. So I can't imagine him like, because that takes a lot of like anger and a lot of aggression to stab somebody, especially repeatedly, dude.
Did Tristan ever confide in you or open up to you about any concerns she had about Aiden or his behavior?
No, she just, honestly, it's gonna be bad. She just said, Aiden's cool. I've also heard he has a big dick. She said that before. Because I don't know if she liked Aiden, but I'm like pretty sure, yeah, she liked me and Aiden.
Okay. Whenever Aiden would pull his knife out and do stabbing motions, was Tristan ever present when he did that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did he just do it like in general in like to an open area, or would he do it towards people, or?
Open area.
Okay. So he wasn't necessarily directing it at somebody specifically?
No. When
he was messing around like that?
He'd just do it randomly when we were bored and we had nothing to do and we were just sitting in somebody's room.
Okay. I'm sure you've probably seen some stuff on both the news and both maybe social media or whatnot, or just talk around the neighborhood. Do you know the area where Tristan was located?
No. My brother said that it was on a lake, and I seen that on YouTube because I was watching videos about it, trying to figure out what was going on.
Okay. When you guys would hang out, would it only be at your house, or at Aiden's house, or at Sophie's house?
Yeah, those only three places. We never met up anywhere. Because honestly, we never really liked being outside because it was always hot. Because Sophie, her mom don't let her go outside because she's ginger and she has I don't know if she has a medical condition with her skin, but she can't be out.
Sunburns easily?
Yeah, she can't be out in really hot weather.
Gotcha. Did Aiden ever talk about places he would go to hang out?
No, we'd only ever hang out at south, north. His house, my house, or Sophie's, and we never went to south or north.
Okay. Do you ever hang out at Aiden's house?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Has Aiden taken you anywhere around his house, like a hangout spot you know of?
They told me of a big rock. He said like it was a smoke spot back like a year ago, a year or two ago that he used to go to, and it was kind of like, you know, when you come into his neighborhood and you can take a right and go down to his street. He said you go and then you keep going all the way down through the neighborhood and there's like this big rock.
A big rock.
And we didn't even go there all the way. I'm like, I'm trying to get back to her house because I was really thirsty and really hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going back to my house or his house.
This is about a year ago?
No, that was the day that, remember whenever you were out of town and then I snooked the people in the house? That was that day. I was at his house and then
Answers questions.
we left.
Okay. So you're dealing about how long ago that was? You said it was last year, but...
No, it was this year.
This year?
Yeah, he was telling me about that last year.
Okay, but he was talking about going down the road to
Big rock.
to a big rock.
We never even got there because I just said, let's go, let's turn around and leave.
Okay. Did he ever talk about how often he would go to that spot, or the last time he would go to that spot?
He said he hadn't been there in like a year.
Okay. Did Tristan ever tell you about going to a hangout spot with Aiden in the woods?
No, I've never. It was, if they ever hung out, it was through me.
Mm-hmm.
I was always like, if they ever hung out, it was through me. She never would sneak out to go to his house. If we ever hung out, it was only us.
Okay.
She never mentioned him besides if like stuff in school.
Okay. So your only knowledge about the area where she was found at is based on your looking at videos that are on YouTube or like news media clips.
Yes, sir.
And
only thing that I'm familiar with is this overshot whenever it showed the dive team in the truck. That's the only thing that I've seen. Mm-hmm. At this time, I don't know anything. My brother, he sent me like a picture through PlayStation saying it was like somewhere through, it was like a road behind his house and it was like by his school, and I don't remember the road.
when you saw the overshot, did any of that area look familiar to you?
I've never been there in my life. I never even go that far.
Okay. Did you have, I gotta ask this question, I just want to clarify it. So, the morning that Tristan was reported missing, police showed up and you tried calling Tristan on FaceTime?
Yes, sir.
Correct? And you called Aiden on FaceTime?
Yes, sir.
Did you communicate with either of them in any other way?
I texted him at one point saying I was just like, do you know what happened to Tristan? And, the police are gonna end up coming to your house. I said, because in the past I rolled him under the bus to my dad because I was just trying to be honest to my father.
Mm-hmm.
So I just was like, wasn't trying to roll you under the bus. It was just like, but she's missing. And, you can't really keep stuff behind you. You were the last person to see her. I'm just being honest.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just said, okay, but usually he just leaves me on red. So he said okay or nothing.
Leaves you on red?
Yeah. If you see a message, it says, they'll, type back, or it says red.
Gotcha.
They don't reply.
Okay. When you were in the back of the police car, were you communicating with anybody else?
No.
Other than Snapchat?
At the time, everybody thought that I was the one, and I already killed her, and I already dumped her somewhere. Everybody already was saying all that stuff to me.
Mm-hmm. So did you communicate with Sophie?
No, not at all that day.
This is a screenshot that we got of communication. You can see it, dude, you know.
I did. Yep, I did text her. She was asking me how I was doing.
Okay.
I said, yeah, this is scary. Yep, I completely forgot about that.
Okay.
I sent that picture when I was in there.
Take your time when you answer questions, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm trying to make sure, because, so I'm just trying to make sure I understand the timelines of everything. Okay, like I told you before, I'm not suspecting you of anything. I'm not. There's no intention that I have of charging you to anything. Okay, I just need you to be honest with me about the communications because we're going through. We're trying to identify who's communicating with who, what the nature of that communication is, and so any information you can give me helps me. But I'm also, like I said, I'm trying to help you. Okay, because. Sure. I'm trying to make sure that nobody can come back and say that you had any kind of involvement with this.
In the back of the car, I talked to a girl named Trinity. She lives in New York. I talked to a girl named Trinity, and then I talked to Sophie. I completely forgot that I talked to anybody in the back of there. I just did my story.
It's all right. You had a lot going on, I'm sure. Who was Trinity to you?
Trinity was, it was kind of a long-term dating thing. It wasn't nothing crazy, but we were talking.
Okay. So she just somebody that you know from
Snapchat.
Gotcha. Okay. Going back to this knife right here. You said Aiden carried it on him all the time, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know if he had that knife on him when you were hanging out with them on Saturday night?
No. He never emptied out his pockets or anything. I mean, I didn't know if he had it on him, but I would have assumed he had it on him.
Mm-hmm. How would he carry that knife? Would it be just in his pocket or?
Just in his pocket.
Does he have a sheath that it goes in?
No.
Okay.
It folds in.
Okay. So
he had a name for it.
For what?
The knife.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
What was his name for this knife?
This knife right here was Picker, and that one was Poker.
Can you write on here which one is which?
He called this one Picker because if you stabbed, it would like rip.
Mm-hmm.
And he called this one Poker because if you stabbed, it would just poke.
You can write it on the front of that one, but the writing's already there. What was Aiden and Tristan's relationship like?
It was, I mean, it was kind of back and forth. Like, you could have took a guess, but they were mainly friends. But he was trying to move in on her, but not at all. He had a girlfriend. Mm-hmm. So if they did, like, if they were to do anything, it would be that Tristan brought it up. Mm-hmm. Then after that, he's like, I'm not cheating on her. I can't cheat on her. So then that's when I was like, okay, he ain't gonna do anything. And then Tristan was like, oh man, really? And I was just like, yeah. I was like, he does have a girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And she was like, oh, okay. And then, I don't know, because they weren't fighting that night. Like, they were good. So I don't know, like, if they did anything or not. Okay. If he got tempted to do anything.
When you were in the backseat of the patrol car with Aiden, or when you were FaceTiming him before you guys got together, did he make any comments about Tristan other than he last saw her at the end of her neighborhood?
He never said anything. That's whenever I was in the back of the car, and they said she touched his dick. I was like, why wouldn't he say that to me? Because, usually he'll tell me everything, because we both do.
I'm not sure I understood correctly. So you said in the back of the car he told you that she touched his penis?
No, I heard it from another cop.
Okay.
No, remember when you came over the window? He's like, because I was like, Dad, I was like, dude, I hadn't ate nothing. I was in the back of the car all day. Mm-hmm. And then they gave me peanuts, and I was talking to Dad, my dad right there, and then they said that she touched his dick, and then he pushed her. And then I didn't think about it. I thought that it was the dealer, the older dude, that like she would talk about that did anything. Mm-hmm. But it did. I thought about like the full timeline and the full thing in my head, and I was like, no, you couldn't have done that.
Okay. But Aiden didn't make any comments like that to you, correct?
Nothing at all.
Okay. All right. We're going to take a quick break. I think that's about all I have. I just want to take a few minutes to kind of go over my notes, make sure I've got all the questions that I got. Do you need to use the bathroom or anything?
No, sir. I'm good.
Any need to use the bathroom?
I'm good.
Okay. If y'all could just give me a few minutes to look at my notes,
Yes.
I'm going to take a bathroom break, and then I'm going to come back in. And I think that's about all that I have. I might have a few follow-up questions. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. If you want to, do I need to stop the recording for you, or have you guys walk outside, or
Let's see.
I mean, whatever you guys want to do, I'm trying to accommodate.
David, what do you want?
Just sit in silence while they look at their notes.
Yep. All right.
Okay. The recorder's still going to be on.
Recording's on. Yep.
If you need to use the bathroom or anything, or get a drink of water, there's 2 bottles of water here. Or
Yes, sir.
You can knock on the door and we'll come get you.
Thank you.
I'll take a bottle of water.
If I get one for you, I would.
Hey, Brittany?
Yeah. Hold on. You're on speakerphone. Yeah. Okay. I will.
I'm going to mute myself again.
All right. Sounds good.
And Brittany, one other thing. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're on speaker though.
Towards the end of this, ask them if you can relay to them some of the
Got it. Okay.
Just a couple of quick follow-up questions. Trey, could you tell me what you were wearing on Saturday night?
I was wearing no shoes, no socks, no nothing. I'm pretty sure I was in my red Adidas shorts with no shirt. I was just like how it usually would be, just chilling in my house. But I'm not 100% positive on really what I was wearing, because I have like a whole bunch of stuff I usually wear to bed.
Mm-hmm.
It was rather a pair of sweatpants, a pair of gym shorts, and that's it.
Okay. Is that something that you would have worn outside too?
If I would have worn outside, I would have on my black Vans, because those are my like shoes I wear everywhere. I would have on a pair of sweatpants, and I would have on my my light gray Boys in the Hood hoodie.
Okay.
Baggy.
Okay. The hoodie that we collected from the house. Do you know which hoodie I'm referring to?
The Death Valley one?
Yeah. Whose hoodie was that?
That was mine.
That was yours.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Remember, you bought me the Death Valley one and the Boys in the Hoodie, and Boys in the Hood, the same day.
The one I found in the garage had 2 kids with a Ouija board on the back.
That's why he was wearing mine. His was full of sweat.
So that was Aiden's that was left in the garage.
Yes, and then he put on. It was cold outside, so we put on my Death Valley one.
Okay. And his His hoodie was full of sweat because he was skateboarding?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. That's about all the questions that I have, with the exception of this one last thing. We have your cell phone still because we believe there may be evidence on your cell phone. Are you willing to, with concurrence of your attorney, to provide us consent to download your cell phone?
David, what would you like him to answer?
They're going to get it regardless. Consent to it.
Yes.
Okay. After this, we'll grab the form, and then we'll you can obviously be present for it. And then we'll never get the form and the cell phone downloaded. We can get your phone back to you. The only thing I'm going to ask you is for your passcode. I'm not going to ask you for it right this second because we're recording. I'm trying to help you out here
You
too.
mean get it back today or
I can't promise you when we can get it back to you, but if we do get that consent form, then that helps us to get it started to download the process now. We can get it back to you quicker. I don't know how long it's going to take, so I can't promise you. I don't want to promise you a timeline on that.
I just thought you said today, so I was clarifying.
We're going to start it today. Like I said, I don't know how long it may take.
Okay.
Okay?
We have a few questions, David and I. Can I ask? Is that okay?
That's fine.
You had mentioned something about the knife being swabbed. Are you able to release information in regards to if there's DNA found on that?
Not at this time.
Okay. And then the second question that we had, will there be a time that